So the next part of the program at this point is the first meditation session of our retreat. So I'm going to give you some guidance, but as usual, probably the wise thing to do is just try and establish a good, comfortable meditation posture. So traditionally, since the time of the Buddha, the favored posture has been cross-legged on the floor or on a mat. And that's because when you sit cross-legged, it's very easy to keep your back straight and to find a very kind of solid balance in your posture, in your body. But having said that, everybody's body is different. So some people find they have a lot of pain sitting on the floor. So if you find you have to sit on a chair, that's okay. But try and sit with a straight back and sit still, of course. So having established your posture, the one that you're comfortable in, used to, bring all your attention inwards at this time. So close your eyes, and that already cuts out a lot of distraction and sense stimulation. The light is gone, now your attention is turned inwards. And this practice of goodwill, gratitude, partly it's just getting to know yourself and develop goodwill for yourself. So getting to know yourself, what does that mean? Well, bringing attention inwards, closing your eyes, and having a look at your own body from the inside. Your mind is now turned inwards on itself. And how do we know our body? Is through the sensations of the body. So as you're sitting here, just send your attention up to the top of your head maybe. Just notice how it feels. The hair on your head. Does it feel cool or hot? Can you feel it? What sensation do you find at the top of your head at this moment? And then bring your attention down to your face. What do you feel there? Do you have any tension around your eyes? Around your jaw? Your mouth? Notice the muscles in your face, if they need to be relaxed. Just consciously relax them. And bring your attention to your neck. Notice how your neck is, the muscles, how the shoulders and the neck are. Often we find tension in this area from keeping our head in a certain position, or accumulated stress sometimes leads to muscle contraction over a long period of time that can make for pain. Do you have any? Or do you feel relaxed already? Send your attention down your right arm. How does your arm feel? Hot, cold, neutral? How are your fingers? Do your fingers feel any tension or pain? And come back up and over to your left shoulder, your left arm. Send your attention down to the fingers. How do your fingers and hand feel? Where are your hands? Are they touching? Are the fingers of your two hands touching? How does that feel? Some people can know their level of mindfulness from their body. So when they're mindful, their hands are together, touching. When they become distracted, and they're sleepy or they're thinking about something miles away, no longer aware of their body, then their hands move apart. The fingers don't touch anymore. So when they re-establish mindfulness, they notice they put their fingers back together again. Or if we have an unpleasant memory comes up, then sometimes the hands move in response to that. We clench our fists, or we move our hands around, away from the body, whatever. So these different parts of the body are teaching us because they're linked to the state of mind. Now bring your attention back to the chest. Notice your chest rising and falling with the in-breaths and the out-breaths. How does it feel? Is there any tension? Notice the abdomen rising, falling. Then notice your waist, your pelvis and hips touching the cushion under you maybe. Notice the pressure of your body, the body weight down on the ground, on the mat that you're sitting on. Notice your stomach. Here in Australia, the monks just had their main meal of the day, so the stomach feels full. Maybe you're in another part of the world in the middle of the night and your stomach feels empty, it's gurgling. Notice your legs, so your right leg moving down, sensing the muscles, the pressure of the leg on the ground or on the other leg, right down to the toes. Can you feel your toes? How much time in your life did you spend getting to know your toes? Usually we only notice our feet or toes if something's wrong, when there's a pain. The rest of the time, we're not aware of them. Come back up to the waist and then down your left leg. Does your left leg feel at ease, comfortable, or is there any tension? Compare your left leg with your right leg. Do they feel much the same, or is there a difference? Down to your left toes. And now slowly bring your attention back up to your waist. And up to your chest and to the crown of your head. So getting to know yourself from the inside out. And have that thought of goodwill in your mind as you do this. Sometimes when people go to the doctor or healthcare professional, they spend some time while the doctor is looking over you, they're checking things. Sometimes they have to feel part of the body, check your breath, your pulse. Usually the doctor is well-meaning, has goodwill, and we respond to that. We appreciate the time and knowledge of the doctor giving us attention. But now we're doing it to ourselves, just getting to know how we feel at this moment from the inside. And we're not judging these feelings, we're just noting these sensations, tension, easing the tension, or no tension, feeling the air, the sensation from our clothing, the pressure, the weight of the body on the ground. Getting to know yourself with goodwill. Relaxing if there's tension. But not relaxing so much that you fall asleep. So goodwill applied at this time is the goodwill translated into the energy to awaken your mind. If you're feeling sleepy because you're sitting still, your goodwill actually is trying to awaken you. Because that's a better state of mind. If you have goodwill for yourself, you want to improve your state of mind. So if you're struggling with sleepiness, then your goodwill is directed to waking you up. Put energy into your posture. So sit up straight. Make sure your head doesn't droop or your back doesn't curve over too much, because that's painful and also inclines you to sleep. If you're really sleepy, then you can open your eyes for a while, absorb some light, refresh your mind, pay attention to yourself, and then close the eyes again. Now, we're bringing attention to the feeling of the in-breath and the out-breath. If you prefer to use a meditation word like Buddho, you can, either on its own or with the breath. Or if you just want to stay with the feeling of the breath, that's okay. If you're a beginner and you haven't meditated before, we'll try and find the feeling of the breath around the tip of the nostrils, either at the top of the mouth, between the mouth and the nostrils, or at the nostrils. And you're looking for that sensation of the slightly cooler air coming in through your nose, and then the slightly warmer air coming out of your nose. So you can leave the rest of the body now. Hopefully your posture is established and you're feeling comfortable. Now your aim is to put all your attention on that feeling of the in-breath and the out-breath. And you're not controlling it. You don't have to make it long or short. You're just trying to find the sensation and pay attention to it, moment to moment to moment. Some people prefer to watch the breath at the chest or the abdomen. Follow the rising and falling of the abdomen. And that's fine if you prefer that. Otherwise, bring your attention and keep returning your attention to this place at the tip of your nostrils. And this is to bring up this quality of mindfulness, sati, clear comprehension, sampajanya, or what we call present moment awareness, recollecting the breath, keeping the breath in mind, not forgetting the breath. And this is the meditation technique the Buddha used on the night of his enlightenment. So it's tried and trusted. And the aim is to bring up this quality of mindfulness, to know in the present moment using the breath as an anchor. And although there will be other things we learn in this meditation retreat, it begins here with mindfulness of breathing, bringing up the quality of mindfulness and clear comprehension from moment to moment with effort, patient and applied effort. It's very difficult to just relax and allow the breath to take your mind's attention and keep its attention without any effort. Very quickly your mind will drift off into daydreaming, thinking about 101 other things, or else falling asleep. In order not to fall asleep or get caught into daydreaming and thinking about many things, you have to put forth effort to pay attention to this feeling of the breath going in, breath going out, maybe counting, so counting in 1, counting out 1, Breathing in 2, breathing out 2, going on until 10, and then restarting at 1. Your aim is to put effort into paying attention to the breath so that you have mindfulness of the breath, and you start to pay less and less attention to everything else. Everything else doesn't matter at this time. So even though you're sitting meditation at home, you could be on the top of a mountain, in the forest or a park, on your own. You're letting go of all your other concerns at this time. You're allowing yourself to do that. And you have to remind yourself to do that. Because our habit is to keep thinking about the next thing we're going to do, thinking about the things we've already done, getting lost in memories, thoughts, curiosity. You hear a sound, so you start thinking about it. You feel something in your body, so you think about it. Partly this is because the breath is a very neutral object for the mind. And at first we're not used to following it. It can appear boring, or sometimes it's just subtle, and the mind can't stick with something so subtle, so refined. And this is one of our problems, is that we're attached to sense stimulation. We're used to it. We're always seeking it, wanting it. But now we're allowing the mind to let that all go. We don't have to worry about the body. It's just sitting here peacefully. We don't have to worry about what we're going to do later today. That's all taken care of. Now our job is just to be mindful of the breath in the present moment, as if we're totally alone in the world. And to have that default object in the mind of goodwill, metta. So this activity we're involved with right now, bringing attention to the in-breath, the out-breath, is done with goodwill for oneself, goodwill for everyone else. But you don't have to think of a particular person at this time, but just the general thought that all other beings, may they be well, peaceful. And we're practicing paying attention to the breath. When we lose our awareness and we start thinking distracted thoughts, then the job of mindfulness is to pull the mind back to the breath. So the Buddha said, like training a young calf, we tie it down to something, and at first it will run and run and run away to get away. Like our mind, it doesn't want to stay with the breath. It's boring, it doesn't seem to be helping us to put attention on the breath. and it's not yet enjoyable maybe. But if we keep pulling with mindfulness, pulling our attention back to the breath, letting go of the thoughts, after a while the mind gets the message and it will stay closer to the breath and it won't stray so far, just like the young cow. And it becomes more content, brighter, more still, firmer. We may at some point start to enjoy being with the breath and letting go of everything else. We have more mindfulness, more clarity, more self-control. Mind and body are right here where we know they are. And the mind is ready to contemplate because it's right here. So I'll stop talking for the moment and we can just sit a bit longer quietly, practicing mindfulness of breathing. So for the last part of this meditation, we'll spend some time cultivating the thought of metta, loving kindness. So you can begin by developing a feeling, warm feeling in the center of your chest, where the heart is. See if you can bring up a tangible feeling of goodwill. Placing your attention at your chest, calming the body, the mind, stilling the body, bringing up the feeling of goodwill with the thought, may I be well. May I be free from suffering. If you're still fully aware of the breath, then you can bring this thought in with the rhythm of the breath. So breathing in, may I be well. Breathing out, may I be free from suffering. Or just keep your attention on that place at the heart. It's another way to do this. May I be well. May I be free from suffering. And any feeling of joy or relaxed, pleasant feeling that's come up with this meditation, start spreading it around your body. So send the thought of metta up to your own face and head. May I be well. May I be free from suffering. And spread that good energy down to your waist, your legs, to your toes. So you're filling your whole body with the feeling of metta, goodwill, with the thought, may I be well, may I be free from suffering. Keep turning to the feeling of goodwill at the chest. The thought, may I be well, may I be free from suffering. And now direct it out from your body all around you. So if you're at home, you're wishing everybody in your home, your apartment, your house, may they be well, may they be free from suffering. Just as you filled your whole body with the thought of metta, you're now filling your whole house with the thought of metta. And you're changing the thought to one of, may they be well, may they be free from suffering. And the people who are in your immediate vicinity, family or friends or neighbours, May they be well. May they be free from suffering. And now extending that thought, your consciousness further beyond the walls of your home to your neighborhood. If you're in a city, towards the whole city. If you're in the countryside, well, to the whole area, extending out from your home. May they be well. May they be free from suffering. And finishing with the whole world. Just extending your consciousness out from your body to your home, to your region, to the whole world, in all directions. May all beings in all realms be well. May they be free from suffering. So that was our first meditation session together on our gratitude and goodwill retreat, ending the old year, bringing in the new year. And just setting the tone of this retreat. There's many things more we can say about the practice of meditation, the qualities of gratitude, goodwill. But that's just a little taste and experience of it. And a meditation retreat is a chance to really experience the Dhamma or the truth. You know, we've read and heard lots of Dhamma, and now is a chance to really turn our minds to bring up these qualities in a very direct way through our practice. And there'll be times in the next few days when we practice together, and I'll give you instruction and guidance, but there'll also be the chance for you to practice in your own time. I hope you will set aside time to do that, not just use the breaks in the schedule to find distractions, do other things which really fill your mind up again with a lot of different mental states. And try to simplify your time during the next few days and the activities you're involved with. Try to keep them just Dhamma related. So try and keep your speech to a minimum. Try not to waste time on social media and seeking out friends and relatives and the rest of the world. If you're on retreat, hopefully you've already told them you're on retreat. And really focus on this practice. Developing mindfulness in every posture, in every activity. And your goodwill and gratitude, you don't just practice when you're sitting still. This is developing meditation in a very intense way. When you're sitting still, closing your eyes, you're cutting off most other external distractions. But when you get up after the end of this session, you maybe walk away from your computer, you go to the bathroom or the kitchen, or you walk around your house, do a few things. Try to maintain your mindfulness of your posture and have an object that you're using. It could be the object of goodwill. So as you walk around your house, maintaining goodwill as a mental state from moment to moment, mindfully bringing up the thought of goodwill for the people you meet, whether they're there or not. If you think of people or meet people, just having goodwill, sending it out, and maintaining that thought while you're doing other activities, or following the breath even. Later on we'll be learning a bit of mindful walking. And you can do mindfulness of walking even in your house, in your home. When your legs hurt and you need to stretch and get up, then you can do walking, maybe slow walking because your space is confined. Walking back and forth mindfully, aware of your posture, aware of your feet touching the ground, or maintaining mindfulness on the thought of goodwill as you walk. And other more mundane activities. Your aim is to maintain mindfulness, that present moment awareness, as much as you can to support your practice through the next few days. So when you're eating food, going to the toilet, bathing, washing clothes, cleaning up, doing various mundane household activities, try to maintain the mindfulness. And I'll explain a bit more in the next few talks about mindfulness practice directed to the body, to feelings, to the mind itself, and to Dhamma, just the process of the Dhamma, how we can develop the factors of the Eightfold Path, the factors of enlightenment, how we can let go of suffering, how suffering arises in the mind, how we can observe it arising but also observing it ceasing and letting go of suffering and its causes because it's impermanent. The process of the Dhamma as we're practicing meditation. So the Buddha intended us to practice this Eightfold Path, and particularly the practice of effort, mindfulness, samadhi, and then wisdom in all postures, in all activities. And a retreat time is a time where we can learn to do that. You might say it's an artificial time because you're not working or going out into the world, shopping or whatever, but it's still useful to develop that continuity of practice and practice letting go of everything else. Sensual desire, ill will, sleepiness, apathy, laziness, restlessness, anxiety, and doubt. These things may well arise during your practice. These are what we call the 5 hindrances. And every meditator is familiar with them and how annoying and difficult they can be, but they can also be let go of. And just as ill will can arise, ill will can be let go of and abandoned. Just as sense desire comes up to bother you, you can let it go. And the kind of skills we're learning in our meditation are how to do that, how to recognize these different obstacles that bring a sense of agitation to the mind, even stress to the mind, learning how they arise, but then learning how to abandon them and let them go through our good efforts in the practice. Learning to look after ourselves, and this is coming back to the goodwill, learning how to look after ourselves as human beings and improve ourselves through working with our own mind, understanding it better, caring for it, tending to it, nurturing it with goodwill, and then wisdom. And it's interesting, one of the words for wisdom in Buddhism is samma ditthi, right view. And one factor in right view that the Buddha talked about often is the quality of gratitude. Recognizing that people have helped us from the moment we were conceived in our mother's womb. We've been helped by our parents, family, friends, colleagues, teachers, even strangers sometimes. All kinds of people have helped us. There's a lot to be grateful for in our life. And when we recollect that, it's a very nourishing thought, and it's a thought of wisdom. When we forget that, we are no longer wise. When we focus simply on ourselves, what we want, and just believe that all I want and everything I think and feel and want is important and nothing else is, we cut ourselves off from the rest of the world. And the people who have helped us, the sense of gratitude disappears. That's not right view anymore. It's wrong view. And also the quality of gratitude leads on to trying to do something for others, give something back to the world, particularly to the people who have helped us, see if we can do anything for them through body, speech or mind, but also just to the world in general, that thought that it does matter what we do. We're a member of the world, the citizen of the world, and we can give something back, however small, to the world, to the population of the world, to the land, to the environment. The Buddha said somebody who has the quality of gratitude and the wish to give something back, the Pali words are gatanyu gataweti. He said someone with these qualities is rare in the world. In most of our lives, we're not thinking with gratitude or how to give something back. We're just thinking how to get more, more for ourselves, how to get on, achieve, attain, often to the detriment of other people. We often neglect other people or even sometimes harm other people in our pursuit of our own desires. And that's, that fills our mind a lot of our life. Quality of desire, seeking desire, trying to get our own desires fulfilled. But somebody who pauses, like we're pausing our life now, coming on a retreat, meditating, developing mindfulness, contemplating the Dhamma. It's like we're putting our life on hold or pause so that we can reassess, understand ourselves better, understand our relationship to the world better. When we go on pause like this, then it's like some of these truths surface, don't they? They bubble up and you realize, oh yeah, other people have helped me a lot. And maybe you even sitting here developing the thought of goodwill, wishing others well, you actually remember somebody who is less fortunate than you or someone who's suffering in a particular way. You may even have the thought, I can help them. There's something I can do for them. And it's very common that people, when they finish a meditation retreat, they want to practice kindness and generosity, and so they go off and do some dana or help somebody, express their gratitude in different ways, do all kinds of acts of goodness. because wisdom has arisen in their mind, clarity has arisen, they've paused their life, they've thought more deeply, and it leads to this sense of gratitude and wanting to give something back arising. So at this time, the end of 2020, which everyone is saying is a really bad year because of COVID and so many bad things have happened, there's a tendency for everyone to be kind of a bit angry and negative about the year, even though the year is just a creation of our imagination anyway. Day by day, there isn't really a year 2020, it's just a label, but still, there's a lot of negativity around at the moment. So it's a good time to pull your mind back to be mindful of some of the good things that have happened, some of the good things that are happening, and at this very time, this meditation retreat, focusing on the thought of goodwill and gratitude, these are good things that we can do at this time to counter the negativity. And as we go into the new year, we're recharging our mind with goodwill, sending it around our own body and mind, so recharging ourselves and then sending out in all directions the thought of universal loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy and equanimity, because we can't fix everything in the world and we have to practice equanimity as well, because there will be some things we just have to accept. But these four qualities, goodwill, compassion, sympathetic joy, equanimity, these are what lubricate the mind, both internally, help to keep our mind aware of the Dhamma and responding to the Dhamma properly, and then also in our family life and our work life. These four qualities will help us to integrate and get on, cooperate with other people well, and deal with the difficulties of living in society where some things go well, some things don't go well, pleasant experiences, unpleasant experiences. Goodwill, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy and equanimity are these four qualities of the Brahmaviharas that the Buddha encouraged us to develop to deal with the ups and downs of life. So maybe for today I'll just say this much, and in a moment we'll finish the session paying respects to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Then you have your own time to carry on your practice, and so I'll encourage you to really make use of your time while you have this opportunity. And a bit later today we'll be meeting again, and I'll give you some more teaching and we'll do some chanting and meditation together. But for now we'll end the session and just pay respects to the Triple Gem.